If your wellness routine leaves you exhausted, it's not wellness, it's performance. When I first heard that, I was like, yes, they get it. They get it. Because when I think about particularly how many of us create our morning routines and rituals, we are so often trying to create this, what feels convoluted, overproductive, and just chock filled of things that we think we have to do in order to check off our to-do list, our morning routine to-do list, that it really starts to lack intention and nourishment and care and meaning. And so that's what I want this video series and this 5 day morning challenge to do for you, to help you start to create a morning routine and morning rituals that can allow for you to slow down in order to speed up, to transition through any season of change that you are currently experiencing, and give yourself a soft place to land. Because as we know, the outside world is going crazy. And maybe even our inner world feels a little crazy too. And so we need space to be, to breathe, and to become. So if that sounds good to you, welcome to this series. I am Tiffany Lanier. I'm a keynote speaker, facilitator, and coach, helping people navigate through their challenges of change, but through a lens of well-being. And specifically, I help people reset. Reset so that you can show up for whatever the season of change is trying to show you, teach you, and bring you through so that you can get to the other side feeling more whole, feeling like, you're ready to take on whatever that next chapter is here to bring. So, welcome. And today's video is not day one of the 5 day challenge. It's really to help you better understand what the challenge entails, what's it about, and my vision and views on morning routines and rituals and how I got here. Not here, but how I got, how I arrived to these particular thoughts around morning routines and rituals. Um, it's been what, let's see, since maybe 2016. 2016 is when I can say I officially created a morning routine, morning practice that was finally rooted in intention, nourishment, care, and meaning. But what was I doing before then? Before then, I was following what everyone else had to say, right? I was probably watching YouTube videos, much like this one. I was listening to, I'm like, did we even have podcasts back then? I mean, we must, right? Live streams, all kinds of things. Whatever people were talking about, the gurus of sorts, morning routines have always been a marker of success. I mean, if you Google it, there's probably tons of articles that talk about like, the most successful people have these types of morning routines. And so we take that information in and we go, okay, well, if I want to be successful, if I want to feel whole, if I want to be whatever, fill in the blank, then I must emulate whatever this list is. And it's not that the list is bad. Usually the list is fine. It's more than fine. But the problem is if we are emulating somebody else's morning routines and rituals, that means we haven't done the work to really think about what is it that we want and need for this season of our lives. We're just mimicking, something, hoping that it works for us and hoping that it sticks. So prior to creating what I call the morning shift, um, my morning routine was just a to-do list. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna read, personal growth, personal development, self-help book for 30 minutes. I'm gonna drink my lemon water, first thing. Um, all of that jazz. So that was fine. I did that. It felt good. I felt accomplished. I did something. I checked it off, but it didn't feel life-changing. It didn't feel life altering. Like it was really here to do something besides me, do my personal growth and development work, which is good. Okay. So don't get me wrong. That is good, but there was lacking meaning. And so fast forward to 2016, after moving across country with my then boyfriend, now husband, needing to meet new people, build new community, start a business over there because I had a business in Florida, but I didn't have a business there in Colorado at the time. Um, Found out I was pregnant, went through a series of very complicated, a series of complications within that pregnancy, overcame that, and then the identity shift of becoming a new mom and experiencing postpartum, particularly postpartum depression. All of that wrapped up into like this one very intense year or year and a half left me spiraling. All right. So by the end of 2015, 2016, I was spiraling. And I remember going to a mentor of mine because I just felt like everything was failing, honestly. I felt like my business wasn't doing that great. I felt like I wasn't the best, new mom that I could be. I didn't feel like the best partner that I could be, daughter, friend. I mean, you name it. It felt like I just wasn't that great at it at the time. And I remember thinking, like something, right? We always get that nudge, like something needs to change. I don't know what, but something, but how? How do I start turning this ship around? And a mentor of mine asked me the weirdest question, and she said, "Well, what the heck do you do in the morning?" And I said, "What do I do in the morning? What do you mean?" Like, I mean, at this point in my life, I'm waking up, throughout the night for my kid is waking up all throughout the night. So once I get up, I'm trying to, get her dressed, get myself ready for the day. I got client meetings, I got videos or courses to shoot. I might have an engagement coming up, like whatever it is, but it's all movement, right? Just going to the next thing, going to the next thing. And she said, "Well, there lies your problem, right? You don't give yourself any space." And I'm like, "Space? I need to create space. I need to create space for myself. Like, what does that mean? What does that look like? How does one craft said space? But where do I find it first and foremost, right?" And it was at that moment that I realized, okay, well, if I need to create space, like, yes, how? How do I do that? And what she really pointed out to me was that I had experienced so much. I had gone through so much in such a short period of time. And I just kept going. I just kept pushing, striving for more for the next thing. I'm also a Capricorn, so you know how that goes. Um, but I didn't give myself the space to acknowledge and to process that I had changed. I mean, obviously, I was a new mom now, right? So I had changed, my life had changed. So now maybe my vision was also changing. Maybe I was trying to constrict myself into this container of the visions that I had, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year and a half ago, and I'm just pushing along, no longer in alignment to who I am now and who it is that I want to become. And so it was in that conversation with her that she really made sure to let me know that it was time, right? It was time. And sometimes this might look like therapy. It may look like hiring a coach. She was a mentor and a coach to me, so she was the person that I was, getting the feedback from. And the advice was, it's time to create some morning space to do this deeper level of work. So that's what I did. I didn't, a part of it was meditation. Like, she's like, "You need to meditate." And I'm like, "I'll meditate." I'm not great at it. I'm not that good at it. But I knew that something needed to change. And because I, really valued her advice and information, I was going to take it seriously. I was going to do something. And before I knew it, as I implemented a meditation practice, a gratitude practice, started really crafting a morning that allowed me to do that deeper digging of, that excavation work of who I was then and what I needed and what I wanted. Slowly but surely, I got out of that funk that I was in for a long time. I was able to start seeing things a little bit more clearly, starting to see the path forward, the vision for what was next. But also, what was important, especially this is for all my mothers out there, right, who are taking care of small children. I know that sometimes that feels really challenging. Like, where am I supposed to find this time? And I want to say a couple of things. One is every season is different, right? As our kids get older, it gets a little less intense. It also is going to depend on your circumstance, right? who you have to support you, if there is support within the home, or if there are friends or families outside the home that can help. And even if you're not a mother or a parent in some type of caregiver, um, these responsibilities could also hold true. And I also believe that any of us, caregiver or no caregiver, have an array of responsibilities and circumstances and situations. Some of us may work early in the morning or work late at night. And so this is going to vary. Okay. So that's my caveat. This is going to vary depending on who you are in the life that you lead and your given circumstances. However, I also know that we might not be able to always do these grand morning routines and rituals, ones that I'm going to share a little bit more throughout this challenge. But I did a TEDx talk a couple of years ago called The Power of One Morning Question. And it is my solution to no matter who you are, what your circumstances are, um, if we're going to sleep and we're waking up, we can ask ourselves this one question. And so I'm going to leave it there, right? I'm going to let you go. I'm going to leave the link below for you to watch this TEDx talk if you haven't yet, so that you can learn the question too. And it'll give you a better outlook and frame again on a little bit of what I shared in this video, but how I've landed here, helping people better, not only better understand themselves, but doing that through the routines and rituals that we create. So I hope that you check that out. If you are looking to be a part of this 5-day challenge, even outside of this video series, I invite you to join the challenge. The link is in the bio. Not the link is in the bio. The link is in the description below. You can sign up for it, join my email list, but you'll be a part of this 5-day challenge sequence. So every day for the 5 days, you will get a email sent directly to your inbox so that you will have that email first thing in the morning and you can start going through the prompt. And then you can always come back here to the video, and the video will also be linked. But this way you will have access to the prompts right there in your inbox. And I'm putting together also some like affirmation cards and banners and things that I'm going to give to those who sign up through the registration link. So make sure you check that out. But I wanted to say thank you. I feel like I'm running, I don't know how long this has been. I was like trying to aim for like 10 minutes. And so we may be past that. But thank you so much for being here and being along this journey. This 5-day challenge is really to help you create that space for yourself, the space that my mentor, mentioned to me some almost a decade, crazy, almost a decade ago. And it's one that really did change my life for the better. It changed my career, it changed my whole path. And so there's a couple of ways, as I mentioned, that I want you to start looking and thinking about the morning routines and rituals that we create in the spaces that we create for ourselves. But we'll do that over the next 5 days. So welcome to the challenge, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.